For the sake of today's video, we are talking about Sam.gov. If you have questions, free to ask them. So on Sam.gov, if you need to register, this is where you go. This is the $1 million play. Sam.gov, contracting, advanced search. It may have a little bit of a delay, but this is the $1 million play. You want to know how to win, how to write a proposal. There's some out there saying, oh, get certified and you can get paid to help people. Whatever your hopes and dreams, your dreams and nightmares, your goals, your desires are, you can have them come true through Sam.gov. So you can easily do that. So here in Sam.gov, you can see different opportunities. Contracting opportunities, subcontract reports. So we're going to go to contract opportunities. And we are going to talk about sources sought notices. So at this time of the year, when we're in the third quarter, April, May, June is third quarter. A lot of organizations are trying to figure out, do we want to spend? Are we going to have the money to spend? What are we interested in spending? So you're able to determine if this is something you should go after, if this makes sense. And I have like a 90-10 rule. 10% of your opportunities should be sources sought. So Sam.gov, search, advanced search, sources sought. That's all I've done. If you're here with me so far and this makes sense, make sure you type yes or type yes during the replay. That's all I did. There's 3,700. Well, one of the complaints is, well, Kizzy, I went in there and the dates are old. I don't want all this old stuff. Okay, well, great. Dates, next 3 months. So you see that the number decreased. It went from 7,000 to 1,000. Sam.gov is set up in this way to be confusing. I am here to help make it more palatable so you're not freaked out and you are able to leverage it to easily win a contract. I recently just had a student win a contract in my Ultimate Edge class, so it's more than possible. So sources sought are opportunities where they're looking to see who can potentially do the work. So here is a potentially easy one. Door repair, HVAC, painting, walls. You do not need to do the thing. You're trying to figure out, is this something you could bid on? Find someone to do the work and you get your margin or your profit. So they're looking for requests for information, market research, and you can see this is what they're looking for. So what you want to find out is you want to reach out to the contracting office. And this is also another good thing too, because you see the little swirly, right? What's up, y'all? I have a Mac and they just recently updated Chrome. So it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with Sam.gov. I just need to change to a new browser. And the same works for you. We're not here looking for reasons to give up. We're here to use Sam.gov appropriately. That is the whole point. So what I'm going to do is now go to Microsoft Edge because we need to see what is the information, what is there. Because if you're already like saying to yourself, well, it's not working, I'm just going to go, then why have a business? It's not about just giving up. There's no reason that you can't win an opportunity, but you have to persevere. That's all it is. It's all you got to do. So I'm going to run us through the same process. I'm just going to share a different screen. And make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button too. You may see a black screen between shares, and also there may be a short delay. Okay, so here we go. So you go to advanced search, and we are looking for notice type, sources sought, and you can see 3,000, but we want to narrow it down to the next 3 months. So we have 1,000. So we're looking at the hangar door repair. Okay, so you see there's no swirly, correct? There's no swirly there. That's correct, no solicitation, but the swirly's not there. because I use a different window. So this is really important when you're doing this. Correct. So there's no attachments. This is a sources sought. So basically they're trying to see, are there vendors out there who can provide these types of services? So it says the automatic doors on the right are no longer functioning and needs repairs. And then they said only written responses, has to be 15 megabytes. Phone calls will not be acknowledged. So what I would do is there's two approaches. One, you can go into ChatGPT and ask for it to write a 1 or 2 page response for how you would repair a hangar door, in which the repairs may include the following. Okay. Next, you're going to also want to identify 3 to 10 vendors in this area, and you may want to confirm with them, send them an email. Is the door in Fresno? Is it near Fresno? Where is the door located? Who can provide the repair and get information from them as far as what is needed? Are there any special considerations that they need to have? Because this is not like repairing your garage door. This is not, oh, where I'm gonna get the boys together, we're gonna fix it. This is not that. This is a hangar in building 100. Is this something that one of you could win? Of course. If you believe it, you will achieve it. There's no reason you can't win this. So in order to win, here's what you need. These are the things you need to do. Number 1, the company or the person that you identify, you really want to make sure that they give you pictures. They break down how they will handle it. They break down how they will be able to access. They're even going to take in consideration hours. They're going to give you the how, when, where, why around hangar door repairs in the great state of California. And make sure you take other things in consideration. For instance, I would also send an email, because let's check out the date. This is due the 20th of June. I would also send an email to the point of contact. What I would do is email the point of contact and just say, do you have an idea of when you're wanting this to be done? I don't know if there's a rain situation, if they have fires in this area. I have no idea. But you may want to ask them, is there a particular time of the year that you're looking for this to be done? Also, when you're talking to the vendor, are there tariffs? Is there anything they need to take in consideration? Do they try and charge some extra fees? I don't know. The more that you get all of the information that's needed, you present it in your written document, you ask questions ahead of time, the more this particular client prospect is going to want to do work with you. So adding on, if you're like Marlene in your small business, WOSB, EDWSB, or HubZone, then by you saying, hey, I'm a WOSB, and if there's a second WOSB who submits, chances are they could make this a woman-owned small business set aside. So you want to treat this as if they've given you a solicitation. That's what you want to do. However, they haven't. This is a sources sought. It says purely voluntary. They're trying to determine who's interested and their method of procurement. Here's another bonus. If you have a GSA schedule, it's really going to set yourself apart. So you want to say, here's my GSA schedule. We are able to run this through the GSA schedule. Listen, let me just tell you, I know I'm probably the 110th person to call you like I'm trying to win a contest. And let me tell you what I'm trying to win, a federal government contract. This is a contract that, Elon isn't trying to get rid of because, Elon and Trump over there fighting. I'm just trying to help out the 144th fighter wing. I'm really interested in getting a price quote from you, and I want to make this as easy as possible. Again, I understand I could be the 117th person who's called you and you don't want anything to do with me, and that could be it. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm just here to get us both business. If this is of interest, does that work for you? It's identifying ahead of time the pain points and what will easily lead to, nah, I want to talk to you. You know they've been called a lot. You can interject some humor. I know I'm the 210th person to call. That's like 210. Nah, dude, you the 10th. Okay. Well, I bet a lot of people have called you. It's like finding something in common. Oh, I see you're located in San Bernardino. Oh, I know that area. I'm just throwing things out there, y'all. It's to get a price quote in order to win something like this or any kind of opportunities. It involves negotiation, sales, building rapport. I want to emphasize something. When it comes for a request for information, you don't have to give them pricing. It's up to you, but all they're looking for is information. But the more information, images, hey, here's some testimonials. Hey, the sub I'm using got 4 stars, 4.8 stars out of 5. The more they're going to say to themselves, man, Javier, I want to go with this Javier guy. That's who we want to go with. That's what they're going to do, and that's what we're going to say. So let's take a look at some other ones. We got that. Let's take a look. Once again, Sam.Gov, advanced search, 3 months, anytime, sources sought. That's all we're doing. Okay. I mean, I'm just interested. Pepsi. Guess I want some Pepsi on Guam. Okay. Well, if this is you, if you're into distributing Pepsi, then I would say bid on it. If you got access to a Pepsi distributor, this is for you. If you're like, I have no idea, then guess what? You keep it moving. But I want you all to see the variety. Many think, oh, there's nothing to bid on. There's a ton to bid on. Here's another interesting one, boat racks. So what was it, the Navy? Yeah, the Navy wants boat racks. So they've outlined what they're looking for. They want it by July 11th. And they do have an attachment. Sometimes with the sources sought, they'll have an attachment. Sometimes they won't. And I will open that up for everyone here. With something like this, one of the reasons many people falter when it comes to a product is they're just thinking, oh, okay, let me find palettes. Let me go chat. Let me go to Gemini. Let me go to Claude. Okay, I found it. 42 deep. I found them. Let me just get some prices. Whoa, pump the brakes. Can you afford and/or is any money needed up front for the pallets? Is any money needed up front? Make sure when you look into this, they include tax. They include shipping. And find out from, who's this, Carol with a K? Where is this being shipped to? Like, where do you need to ship this to? What you want to do is make sure you win and you're in a powerful position, not that you win and then you want to give it back. That's not what we're trying to do here. So you have to ask yourself, do you have or can you get the money that's needed for something like this? Because it's old boat barn pallet racks. That's why. And if this is for you, this is something you have to ask them, Javier and everyone else. You have to ask them, how does payment work? What are the terms? And you want to find out, is this vendor bidding on something like this? This is considered a sources sought notice. The government is doing research, just like you, like, oh, let me look. Who's got the best deal? Let's see. Who's got the best deal on a cruise? You're not just going with Carnival. Who's got best deal in a hotel? You're not just going with Marriott or Hilton. You might go to hotels or one of those websites. You're trying to figure out the best deal. The same thing for the Navy. They're trying to figure out the best deal. Lynn, do you have to have a professional email? Lynn@gmail.com. There you go. That's professional enough. Lynn@Yahoo. I advise against Hotmail because it kind of dates you, but you'll be fine. So I'm showing you. Sam can seem to be very confusing, and in reality, it's not. It's not confusing at all. It's just understanding how to leverage the tools that are before you. That's all it is. So let's look at the actual attachment. You can put a chat GPT and put in a prompt such as, please provide the key things that I need to know in this statement of work in order to create a written response. So they're letting you know, San Diego, July 11th. And it looks like they want, let's see, you have to have your own lifts and all of the materials. So if this is up your alley, by all means. If you're like, ooh, I don't know, then it's time to pass. That's all it is. At the day, the whole goal is to identify opportunities that you can win, not to go after things that you have no chance of winning, but to go after things that you can win. I'm going to show you all another one, and then we're going to look at solicitations. Many in the transportation industry would love a transportation opportunity. If you're in transportation or you're able to identify a mover for Hawaii, this is the opportunity for you. 2 young guys I interviewed, they won an opportunity in Guam for porta potties. So there's no reason you couldn't win this. So you can see that it's not a request for quote. If you give them information on pricing, that's great, but they didn't ask for it. Then here's what they want: a capability statement, estimated pricing. So just give them a price range, and they're letting you know this has to happen before 1 July. And I will share the attachment with each and every one of you here in 1 second. So for this moving, let's take a look, because this is something you can easily bid, especially because they're not looking for you to have everything together. They're just looking for basic information. That's all that they're looking for right now. So you can see they want you to provide labor, materials, equipment to relocate government furniture from one hangar to the next in Hawaii. That's what they want. The distance is 500 feet. You got to use stairs. All of the details are here. Now, the one thing about Hawaii is there's a lot of pride there. And so companies know if you're calling them that you're calling about this. It doesn't mean that they're not interested in working with you. What it means is you want to really express a lot of gratitude. Okay. There is something that's really interesting that stands out. Gratitude when you're reaching out to these companies for quotes and to get information is this DBIDS credential. So what I would do, okay, hold on. Must pre-enroll no more than 30 days and no less than 5 days before access is required. Okay. So what this means is you can't send felons. You want to make sure you're not sending felons there. You're not sending people with active warrants. You're not sending people who smell like they've been hanging out with Snoop. You want to make sure that the people who are going there can easily pass a basic background check to gain access to the location. For something like this, let's say you find the most amazing moving company. They give you a deal. They're excited to work with you. You still have to oversee this. You see it right here. Check-in procedures, provide multiple and redundant means of communication, ensure everyone knows their roles and responsibilities. This is vital for you. You can see at the top all the information that they're going to want. So you then have to ask yourself, is this something you want to go after? Because the misnomer is, oh, I just provided these, I'm gonna make some money, I'm out. And it's more than that. It's not much more, but it's more than that. You got to manage it. So someone said, if you find the information, that will wait to get paid unless you're providing the service yourself. Somebody said, I thought services don't require upfront capital. So for Lynn and everyone else, it just depends on what you're bidding on. These are moving services. So for moving services, they may say to use 2 guys and a truck, you're going to have to pay X amount up front. Maybe you just find some people off of Angie's list. But these are questions you have to ask on the front end. But what happens is people get scared and they don't want to ask. And all it does is cause more chaos. So now what we're going to do is take a look at active requests for proposals. 90% of what you go after should be active proposals. So we're just Sam.Gov, advanced search. I'm not logged in. I'm not paying anything. Notice type. And also, I know some of you're like, well, can't I just pay a company to do all this for you? You can, but let me know the results you get. So now we're looking for combined synopsis, solicitation, and we're going to do set aside total small business. So you can see there's 8,000. We're going to do in, let's do 1 month. Now we're at 2,300. I'm going to select an opportunity to go out over with everybody here, but I just find of interest. You can change the page results. So it doesn't matter what kind of computer you have. If something doesn't work on one browser, use a different browser. You don't have to limit it to 25. You can have more results. A lot of these things are not things that most of us would sell. That's why I'm scrolling. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Side-by-side UTV. Side-by-side UTV. So it's due in it was posted on the 7th, due on the 13th. It's a little questionable because the turnaround is really fast. However, you don't know. If this is something that you're able to find and deliver and you have the cash to be able to pay for this, then by all means, go after this. But they've given you a description of what they want. You can see there's a lot of text here. And I know we like shortcuts. So all you have to do is you can cut and paste it into ChatGPT. I will have a new AI opportunity coming out really soon. The attachment that I just opened, it is basically a cut and paste of what they have in the on Sam.Gov. So they had a PDF, and it's really helpful to have Microsoft Office, to have PDF. If you can't afford it, just find the free or trial versions of other things out there. So you can see what they're looking for. You can use the past performance of the company that you get the side-by-side from. Everything that you need is here. So far in the short time that we've been together, I've identified numerous opportunities for you. So there's no reason you can't win something. There isn't any reason you can't take full advantage of Sam.Gov. You just have to ask yourself why. Is it a perfectionism thing? Is it because you're scared you're gonna mess it up? Who knows? It's about what is holding you back. There's tons of opportunities on here. I love religious opportunities. There's several of them right now. There's no reason you couldn't win a religious opportunity. And speaking of religious, I just ran into one. So I'm gonna kind of lean into that. So you see a couple. We have title services and Protestant musician services in Kansas and Catholic services. So they're looking for the lowest price. Sometimes for musicians, they will ask for somebody to audition, which only makes sense because you don't want to put a terrible musician. But for something like this, if you're interested in this, I would ask them, who was the incumbent? What was the contract number? What was the value of the contract? And ask their name, because chances are using LinkedIn, you can find out who the musician is, and more than likely that musician is going to still want to remain in the position regardless of who holds the contract. So look at this, a military working dog obstacle course. That could be something for you to subcontract out in Tampa. Often what happens is people think, why would somebody work with me? But before I get into that, let's go to the questions. Can nonprofit organizations win bid? Yes. Lynn, capability statement scares me. Okay, well, that's fine. Just send me an email. That's why you have tons of free resources online, but you also have paid resources available. Like, for instance, one of my coaching students just won a contract for wash machines. And many of my students are in the same situation. There's things they don't understand. There's things that they need help with. And that's why I invest in coaching. So as you can see here, this is a potential opportunity. Working dog obstacle course. Because most people aren't going to bid on it. They're going to say, I don't know anything about that. And instead, people lean into the areas that they know. And there's, again, nothing wrong with leaning to the areas that you know. You just have more competition. Firing, range maintenance, title service, purchase snowmobile trailers. If you have the cash, you're going to set yourself apart because most people can't afford to buy trailers. Drug testing labs. Trailer, a boat and trailer. Again, most people don't have enough money for that. If you're setting on 50 to maybe 150,000, this is a good opportunity to bid on. There's a lot of opportunities that are here. It's just, are they a good fit for you? Hi, Trophus. A 10-person restroom trailer. This is something you get a price quote from 3 to 5 vendors, and all of the additional information is in the Q&A. So one thing I look for in the Q&A is how long is it? It's 1 page. It's very reasonable. They want the price quote is due on June 9th. They want 2 10-person trailers, it looks like. And probably more than likely, all they literally want is pricing. And I'll share the documents with you all so you can see what I'm referring to. And all of this is on Sam.gov for free. I didn't log in, I didn't pay for anything, I just am on Sam.gov. So you can see this is what they're looking for. Unit price, I'm just throwing out a price. And your price would include all expenses, transportation, gas, any kind of additional fees, any of that, and your margin, okay? So then it'd be 20, and then you give them 30 days. Maybe you give them more than 30 days. Let's say July 10th. You give the delivery date. We're small, we're woman. You put your UEI, you put your cage code. If you have a GSA number, boom, there you go. And then in the Q&A, 2 trailers, 60 days. They tell you they want to purchase 2 trailers. So you got to make sure you have the cash for that, or see if they'll give you a loan or accept terms, meaning, hey, I'm going to buy the trailers and I will send you the money 30 days from when I receive it. No services needed. They want a warranty. They want aluminum because it's going to be used in the desert. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory. So either you have the money for the trailers, you don't have the money for the trailers, this is of an interest to you or not. It's important in this space to not get caught up on the emotions. It's not to be emotional. It's not to get caught up in any of that. It's to stay even keel and to focus on business. Sam.gov is a beautiful tool. It's being prepared. When you win, can you execute? Do you have the money to pay for it? So there are tons of opportunities. I just shared with you the opportunities that I just found as we are here. There's no shortage of opportunities. Nothing is oversaturated. It doesn't matter who's president. It doesn't matter about Elon Musk, President Trump. It doesn't matter about Kanye West. What matters is, are you willing to find, bid, and win profitable contracts? Are you willing to do what's needed? Are you willing to really understand some of the nuances on Sam.gov and Unison? That's what it's about. Well, I love and adore each and every single one of you. And please make sure you like, subscribe, with that notification button. Keep coming back. Do not give up on yourself, because I haven't given up on you. So I just want to let you all know that. Until next time, everything is possible, and thank you all for being here. Take care, y'all.